Hello, and welcome to the Great Game Debate Podcast, where friends come together to respectfully discuss, debate, and disagree about video games. As always, I'm your Elden Lord. You can't do this to me. I created myself. Who do you think you are? I am. I'm the Elden Lord. Kaedhen Birthday Lane. And joining me, as always, is the Saucy Aussie, our man from Down Under, Stephen Boma. How you doing?
Nothing. I just want to get in a bowling competition with you now.
Yeah, sure. And looking very golden and blessed with the grace of gold himself, the godfather of the debate, Jonah Gomez. How you doing, buddy?
I've been better. I traveled, which was fun, and then I came back, and I'm sick, if you can't tell.
Mm-hmm.
But the show must go on.
Indeed. And of course, for our special guest this week, I've rung my spirit calling bell to call once again upon the ashes of one Ryan Stabell, Captain Stubbs. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. It's been a while. Life has changed for me. There's going to be an ethereal baby floating in and out of existence to anyone watching the podcast. But I'm so happy to be back. It's been a while. Thanks for having me, guys.
Sweet. Before we continue, I'll hand things over to Stephen real quick, just for a special message to a friend of the show we'd like to put out there.
Yeah, I just wanted to give a big shout out, sending all of our good vibes and love and energy to Brad from the GGD Kaedhen podcast. He's been going through it recently. He's in hospital at the moment and on the recovery train. So all our biggest love and support out to Brad.
We love you, Brad.
Yeah.
Get better, man.
Love you, Brad. Okie dokie. Hope you guys stop by Pelican Town to pick up your gardening hoe, because it's time for the icebreaker. The question this week comes in from our community member and friend, Missile Mage, noted Final Fantasy VIII stan. The question is, what's your vibes games that you can play for hours without any goal to make progress, but just because you enjoy playing them? Jonah, you got anything locked and loaded for this one? And is it Fortnite?
See, that's the first thing that came to my mind, and I'm like, that's so gross. I don't like that.
It's okay. It's okay. You can like Fortnite.
No, I mean, it's like, what's your vibe, bro? Oh, Fortnite, and then I just started dancing.
Pretty good.
Hanging out with 12-year-olds, fucking doing dances.
Well, to be fair,
famously, Jonah absolutely trolled his wife, his daughter, and my son by saying, "Yeah, I'll play around with you," and then drops out, and then they get the dub as well. So he.
Okay, well, your son was like, "Haha, I pulled a prank on you. We're playing builds." I'm like, "Haha, I'm not playing," and I left.
It was build mode.
Yeah.
There you go. I did not.
Well, yeah, you probably would have drugged them down then if they were playing builds. So, for the best. Well, we can circle back around you, Jonah, if you decide you want to.
Nah, I'm gonna keep Fortnite. I'm gonna drop the gritty and do Fortnite.
Oh yeah, cool, Steven. Vibes game. What you got for us?
Man, it's literally can never be anything other than bad boy.
Man, yeah.
You don't need to go anywhere in Pokemon. Just play a few hours, like especially just starting a new file, especially on the older games when they didn't have a heavy story at the start and stuff. Where it's just like, let me just start walking around, getting a little bug, training it up, hitting some other bugs. Like it's just a vibe. It is just a vibe.
Yeah, very cool. Not to waste too much time talking about it, but I wanted to shout out this ROM hack I saw recently called there's two. There's Crystal Legacy and Pokemon Yellow Legacy, and they've just like completely overhauled the game and like rebalanced it, made the gym leaders more challenging, and like put more variety of Pokemon like earlier. And the goal is just to like give the game like a modern like difficulty and quality of life while preserving the game for the most part.
Is that your vibe?
Wildly crazy.
Is that your vibe? No. Stealing old games?
My vibe. My vibe. I feel like My vibe is Dark Cloud, bro. PS2, Dark Cloud. 2000.
I
I don't know
was
when
I
that
was
game
so
came out,
hoping
but
that we were gonna get the edgelord like it's Dark Souls because my soul is dark and I love killing
now
demons and dragons. It's so
it's
sick.
it's true that many people do play Souls games without hope of making progress for hours, but I'm not one of them. So, but yeah, man, I've like started up Dark Cloud so many times and just like completely dropped a run after like 15, 20 hours and just loving it, having a good time, dungeon crawling, getting my little people trapped in balls and then building my town after I free them and then fishing and just evolving my weapons Pokemon style. And then by the time I finish the second dungeon, I'm like, I'm good. That was a nice nostalgia trip down back into Dark Cloud. So that's another. That one is trapped with Bloodborne in the halls of Sony-owned IP that the developers have abandoned. So,
I got an adjustment on my answer, and Fortnite still technically falls into it, but like rhythm games like Rock Band and Guitar Hero, that's got to be like my
dude.
actual answer.
That's ultimate vibing for sure.
Yeah,
Cool. Ryan, what is your vibes game?
that.
Well, it's that. I mean, if you know me, you know my vibe game is SnowRunner. If I want to chill out and vibe, I'm going to be driving at 3 miles an hour through mud for 6 hours.
That sounds so much fun, dude.
It's like 3 a.m. and your room is like pitch black, and like on the screen, it's just like a first-person view of a windshield, and it's just like pitch black out the windshield, and it's just like snowblind from like a blizzard, and like Guts' theme is playing, and it's like you're just doing that for like 3 hours.
Just got a load of lumber behind me. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be ideal. I've seen pictures of like a triple curved monitor set up, two like side to side and one above, and you got like side view mirror to side view mirror wrap around view with the wheels. Oh, that would be so good. But I got a wheel and pedals I can set up, and that is enough to like hit the vibe mark where you can just lay back with one hand and drive. Yeah.
All right, sick. Well, let's get into the question for Miss Mage. Before we move on, just like to give a quick shout out to our patrons. So thank you so much to Dan Gieslin, Pucho, Wes, Dakota Falk, Randall Reborn, Too Good, Aunt J, Austin Sheen, and is it Cherie or Sherry? Cherie Clark, aka Jonah's mom. Hey,
Thanks, Mom.
Hey, Jonah's mom.
Thank you. Shout out.
And of course, I think the current episode of Gaiden, I always make that mistake. Our sister show is top 10 video game cities and towns, and they've got a episode coming up sometime in the next few weeks that we'll be sure to let you guys know about when that's out. And then before we move on from there, I'll just give you the floor for a second, Ryan, if you feel like there's anything you want to shout out or plug content-wise, or if you want to let people know where to follow you online, if you care to have people following you, or whatever you want to talk about.
Oh, goodness. I've been so busy lately. I haven't been making any content. So listen to more episodes of GGD. It's a great podcast. And if you've seen advertisements for Monster Hunter now, and you've ever been at least a little bit Monster Hunter curious, I can't recommend it enough. That game bit me so hard. I'm level 61 or 62 in the season pass already. I downloaded it like a month ago, tops. More than a month ago.
I love Monster Hunter Curious.
Yeah, it's like you can come out of your monster closet. It's
Awesome, sick. All right, so with that, we'll take a quick break and we'll come back for a debate.
Welcome back to the debate. We have a fun one today. I'm excited for this one. I'm not super into these games. I've tried, but I don't know. They're very cool looking at them from the outside. We've got a Monster Hunter weapons debate with Ryan representing the hammer versus Kaedhen representing the lance. I am very excited to see what these two bring to the table. Steven, would you be able to be an assist trophy for these two gentlemen today? Yeah?
I can do that.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Hell yeah.
All right. With Steven as the assist trophy and Ryan having an ethereal baby in the background, we can proceed. Ryan, as our guest, would you like to start or close the debate today?
I'll start the debate.
Ooh, starting strong, like a hammer made.
Confidence. Yeah. Just rushes headlong into bat.
What I do best.
Hell yeah. Ryan, at any point during your debate, you can call on Steven to use as an additional 30 seconds for your assist trophy. You've got 2 minutes on the clock for your opening statement. Are you ready, sir?
I'm ready. Yeah.
3, 2, 1, debate.
Ladies and gentlemen of the podcast, let me regale you with a short tale about the release of Monster Hunter World. Now, I had tried, I don't remember exactly which titles, but Monster Hunter on the DS a couple times and wound up bouncing off because they're very dense games if you don't have a little bit of a Sherpa through the early parts of them, and I was playing completely alone. And when World dropped, I had friends all get it at launch, and we all kind of started together, but they wound up outpacing me, and I picked the Charge Blade, which was an interesting decision for someone who doesn't know that much about Monster Hunter. And it wasn't until COVID hit that I came back and dropped 150 hours in Monster Hunter in a month. And that is all because I found the hammer, and I joined the Bonk Brothers. A more simple weapon attack style was able to facilitate me getting into all of the other more complicated stuff because I didn't have as much to focus about in combat. Bash. That's all you got to do. You find the monster head and you bonk it, and then you just do that until it doesn't get up again. Just bonk, 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 bonk. And you find bigger hammers. There's hammers that look like axes. There's something about just the ease of pulling out a big hammer, holding down your right trigger, and just looking for a slope to slide down. All right? Because you know as soon as you do find that slope, you're going to jump in the air and spin faster than helicopter blades with a bonk every quarter of a second on this monster head. It may not be the flashiest weapon. It may not be the most complicated weapon, but you will have a hard time finding anything that bonks harder than the hammer in Monster Hunter. And I'll cede the rest of my time.
All right, leaving
Very
15 seconds on the table. Fantastic opener, Ryan.
Thank you.
The personal anecdote strategy, very strong.
Yes, very good. Kaedhen, you have 2 minutes on the clock, and you still have your assist trophy. 3, 2, 1, debate.
All right. At first, I'd just like to say I've been playing Monster Hunter since Monster Hunter 3 on the Wii, so automatically my opinion is more valid than Ryan's. But the angle I want to come through here is the casual player, the newcomer player. If you're rolling with something like a greatsword or a hammer, you have to be like, you can't. There's no blocking with the hammer. You have to dodge everything. Your attacks are slow, so you have to like know the monster's attacks intimately and dodge everything. It's very like high risk, high reward. You're gonna card a lot, get taking hits until you learn the monster. But then we look at the humble lance. It has the most gigantic shield of any weapon in the entire game, and the most effective and powerful shield. If you're familiar with Souls mechanics, it's just the same. You take a hit, your stamina goes down. But with a lance, your stamina goes down a teeny weeny bit instead of a lot bit. And there's skills you could get that make the stamina go down even smaller. So you can just stand there and block all day. Like, it's literally easy mode of a game that doesn't have difficulty modes baked into a weapon, which is the lance. And then you just got to worry about attacking after you're comfortable just standing there and blocking everything. Now, there are moves in Monster Hunter that are unblockable. But guess
30
what?
seconds.
You can get a skill on your lance called Guard Up that makes you block unblockable attacks. Now you really can just, even if you just wanted to spend the entire 50-minute time limit on the fight, just standing there in a corner, just blocking, you're good. You're good for the whole fight. The monster cannot kill you. And then it's just at your leisure, just kill the monster when you feel like it by poking from behind the safety of your shield. It's easy mode. I rest my case. Well, I don't because I have 2 more sections. But...
All right, he cedes the next 2 sections.
Yeah, I'm done.
That's it.
That's all he needed to say. All right, we'll move on to round 2, the rebuttal phase. Ryan, you've got 2 minutes on the clock. 3, 2, 1, debate.
Listen, everyone loves a good defense, right? You can't just attack all the time, but that's what armor's there for. And you know what my armor does for me as a hammer user? It makes 70% of the potions I drink free. I have drank 77 potions in a fight and only lost 5 of them.
Wow.
And I do that with wide range on, so my friends never need to drink a potion. So it's almost beneficial that I'm getting attacked by the monster all the time, because I get hurt, drink a potion, and then none of my friends ever have to drink a potion. At the start of a fight, when I down my demon drug, they get the same attack bonus. At the start of a fight, when I down my armor skin, they get the same defense bonus. It's really just the hammer is all about friendship. You know what I mean? It's all about helping other brothers find the bonk, and that's really what Monster Hunter is about hunting with your friends. The lance is just, you're just going to stand in the corner and protect yourself. You know, it's such a selfish weapon when you come down to it at the end of the day. And if your only focus is defense, you're never going to be able to kill the monster. If you can stand in the corner for 50 minutes but can't poke, then, I mean, you're never going to get it down. Steven, what do you think about the hammer?
What I think about the hammer is that, yeah, you can flip with it, which is freaking phenomenal. Which is unfortunate because there's obviously a better flipping weapon, and that is the obviously insect glaive. And so if Kaedhen's going to come at us with a pokey stick, it's like, well, I surely want a better pokey stick than that. One where I actually get to be a ninja and just stay in the air all the time. So insect glaive is much better than the spear.
You
and
got
even better than the
45
insect glaive is the hammer, because as fun as it is to do aerial maneuvers in the air, what's better than bonking a Diablos horn off its head? Bonking both horns off of its head. We're not going to make a monoblos. We're going to make a zero blows. All right. It's just going to be down on the ground, unable to get back up, all because of the power of the bonk, which is, I mean, really, it's a religion that I'm trying to convert everyone listening to. Our Lord and Savior bonk. And I'll see the rest of my time.
Leaving 10 seconds on the clock. I love it.
I have to say, it's not a monoblos, it's a zero blows. Was inspired. That's incredible.
All right. Ryan has used his assist trophy. Kaedhen, you still have your assist trophy. And
yeah, let's start out. Let's start out with Steven.
Oh, starting out with Steven.
Yeah.
All right. Adding
Team
an
up.
additional 30 seconds onto your clock. Steven, you got 30 seconds. 3, 2, 1, debate.
So the thing about the insect glaive is, first of all, like you can shoot your little insect out and get like buffs as you go, so which just makes it the best weapon, because you get health buffs, you get speed buffs, you get attack buffs, and then all of a sudden you are just like the most maniacal, like Super Saiyan ninja that can just like speed dash all around above the enemy and just destroy. It's so juicy and good.
Kaedhen, you got 2 minutes.
A new challenger has entered the chat. It's a 3-way debate with insect glaive. Yeah, so just to take Ryan's own example of having to spec into the skill wide range to heal himself and his party members, that's valuable skill slots on your armor set that's just wasted on protecting yourself with the increased power of healing potions that you have to drink because you're getting hit. You don't need any of those skills on a lance because you have a giant fucking shield. You just stand there and block all day, and that's free slots on your armor to spec into more damage, which, as we all know in Monster Hunter, is the most important thing. I hesitate to bring it up because it's fuel for his fire, but he hasn't even talked about the fact that Hammer's whole shtick is knocking out monsters by hitting them in the head, like literally putting them on the ground. They can't move, they're knocked out, and the party wails on them. But the whole the Hammer brother aspect of multiplayer plays against the Hammer, because the more players you have in multiplayer, the more resistance to being knocked out the monster gets. So then you're just knocking out the monster even less times by playing with more people. Whereas if you just play solo with a lance and the monster can't kill you, then you're just going to kill the monster faster, because other players are just they're a liability when you're a lance user, because they're just going to get killed and lose the hunt for you. Everybody else is gonna cart except for the lance user, because you can't die. That's just the way it is. How much time do I have, Jonah?
You have 15 seconds.
Okay, and on the off chance you want to play multiplayer, it's not all about just hiding in the corner. You can put a skill on your build that makes you have more aggro than the others. So the monster will attack you instead of your teammates, and
Time.
you can't die. Okay.
Very good. Very good. Man, I don't know if I want to be a selfish prick or join a cult for this debate. Really up in the air, but the nice thing is we have one more round of the debate to decide those factors. Ryan, you've got 2 minutes on the clock. 3, 2, 1, debate.
You know what? I'm glad he does bring it up because I had forgot about the knockout factor. It's one of only 2 weapons that deal the bludgeoning damage, as I recall. Right? It's hammer and hunting horn. So if you are looking for that knockout factor, and only one of those is built around raw damage, not to disparage hunting horn at all. It has an important place in the party aspect, but a hammer user with wide range gives the same effect but a higher raw damage output. And you say, skill slots that I could put to better use. I've still got attack +5 on that build, Kaedhen. Plenty of space to customize the build for a lot of raw damage output and team playability. And even when I don't have a team build around, those free potions are making every fight easy. I almost never cart, even if I get hit a bunch. And you know what? Let the monster have its fun. It's eating dirt at the end of the day anyway, because the Bonk brothers always come out on top. All right, and that's why you always want to join the Bonk cult. Applications are going to be at the back. We are, diversity welcome, where it's everybody's welcome to join the Bonk cult. You just need to have a hammer. It's really the only.
BYOH.
BYOH. BYOH. Yeah. So in conclusion, Bonk. All right, I'll see the rest of my time.
Leaving 40 seconds on the table. I love it. All right. Sorry if it sounds like I've got stuff in my mouth. I've got cough drops and ice to help relieve myself from the pain of being sick. Kaedhen, you took your headphones
Just took
off.
his headphones off.
He just took his headphones off. Jesus Christ. Look at this guy being super unprofessional. Hey, buddy, how's it going?
My headset just keeps dying, and I have to keep turning it on. Don't know what that's about. So, luckily my mic is on a different line. So if I lose audio, I'll just keep talking. And
All
just
right.
give me like a timeout signal.
That's why I give you
something.
visual cues for the debate.
Yeah.
Okay. Kaedhen, we're closing it out with you. You've got 2 minutes on the clock. You've used your assist trophy. The ethereal baby is real. 3, 2, 1, debate.
All right. Much has been said about the imperviousness and defensiveness of the lance, and Ryan's trying to spin it as a passive, weak play style where you're gonna hide and you're not gonna die, but it's gonna take you forever to kill the monster. But I'd like to illustrate the combat effectiveness of the lance as well, because you just don't die, and you can make micro dashes backwards, forwards, left, and right with your guard up, so you still can't get hit even when you're repositioning. You just never stop attacking the monster. It's poke, 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 and you're repositioning, you're blocking, you're counterattacking, and you just don't stop. You're just on top of that monster the whole fight. Whereas the hammer, you have to stop eventually to dodge attacks or get hit and then stand up and drink a potion. But the lance, its defense is completely perfect. It's perfect defense. So the attacks just don't stop. The onslaught does not stop until the monster is dead. It's incredible. And on top of that, the one like plus to bother to use the hammer knocking out monsters, you can accomplish with any other weapon, including the lance. Not only does the lance have built-in knockout with shield bashes, so you can also knock the monster out. There's a variety of other ways for any weapon that doesn't even have built-in knockout attacks to achieve the same thing. You can pick up a special type of slinger ammo that goes on the monster's head, and then you hit that, and it explodes and knocks the monster out. You can wear the impact mantle. While you have the impact mantle on, all of your attacks do KO damage, and that'll eventually come off cooldown, and you just do it again. And you're probably knocking out the monster just as often as a hammer user is at that point. So I look at the hammer, and I'm just like, the Lance is just doing everything the hammer can do, but better. Yes, it can't jump off a slide and become a living helicopter blade, but you just spend the whole fight putting yourself in danger trying to become a helicopter blade, and it's dangerous, and you die.
Shun the non-believer.
All right, well, that was our Monster Hunter weapons debate. Steven, as our assist trophy, I want to get your thoughts on this debate.
Yeah, the insect glaive's really good. You should try it out.
But not the insect glaive. I'm sorry. Between the weapons that were debated between our two contestants.
The funny thing about this debate is that they are the opposite of the way they should be perceived, because it's like, as was explained, like the dummy boy bonk build is actually, you have to think and you have to be very tactical and you have to do a lot more moves and so much more planning, whereas like the hoplite, the shield wall Roman centurion with all the strategy is stand still and poke. So like that is like literally the dummy boy build. So they're like the opposite, even though you're thinking, oh, it's bam bam in your mind of having a big bonk stick, it's actually not. So yeah, it's really weird to have those perfectly opposing ideologies. I unfortunately do come across as biased, because when we picked up Monster Hunter recently, played with Kaedhen and Mateo, I did come in with a big bonk stick, and it is very satisfying. And yes, you do find yourself running up a hill and sliding down it to try and get the jump attack a lot of the time, but it's just so fun, man. It's just,
I love any good hammer user knows where there's like 0.25 meters of slidable surface.
Yeah, because it is literally the best attack other than just charging that bad boy up. But yeah, so unfortunately, just because of bias, I've got to go for that, because yeah, there is a little bit more strategy, and I like the aspect of coming in with like, I've got wide range, I'm healing people, plus I'm not using my healing potions. Like that is good, because economy is so important in those games. If as much as you can, you're either going to be spending money or you're going to be going around and getting resources and crafting stuff, and if you can avoid doing all that busy work, then you're saving time and having more fun just bonking. So yeah,
but Steve, I told you, you don't even need potions at all with the lance, because you don't get hit.
Gamers don't like easy modes.
I tried to tell you.
We want games that are harder and more important, so that we can gatekeep more and have less people allowed to play video games.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I think that comes down to me deciding who I liked more, and I'm sorry, Kaedhen, but I'm gonna be part of the Bonk Brothers. Be right there
Bonk
with
Bros,
the Hammer Bros.
Bonk, bonk,
Bonk,
bonk,
bonk, bonk, bonk.
It's like, we know you can't sign your name at the back when you're signing up. Don't worry, just put an X. It's fine.
You put the paper on the wall. You smear your blood on your forehead and bonk. Yeah. That's how you sign for the bonk cult.
Yeah.
Well, Ryan, I have 3 words for you. Thy unga is worthy of a bunga.
But really, any weapon that you like playing with will mean you're the winner when you play a Monster Hunter game.
Exactly. We're not actually biased. We just want people to play Monster Hunter. Play with whatever weapon you think is the fucking coolest.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And Lance will continue to be the least used weapon by the player base. It's so funny. It used to be Hunting Horn, and then they made Hunting Horn OP and Rise, and now Lance is the least used weapon.
We'll go on to the results of our last debate, which was the best tutorials debate between between the Forced Unleash or Pokemon Red and Blue. Eking it out with 1 extra point was Pokemon Red and Blue. Congratulations, Steven.
Yes. I love the fact that an absolute troll debate won.
I'm thinking, what tutorial?
It was literally the old man who's drinking his coffee and it teaches you how to catch a Pokemon. But it was all based around the idea of catching Missing No, like straight afterwards. So like never talking to him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that was good. Yep. I guess everyone had to side with the party that didn't side with space Nazis. So yeah. So it was, yeah.
That was a wild debate. You should
It was a wild debate.
go check out the best video game tutorials episode with Mr. Preston.
Indeed.
And with that, we'll move on to the GGDlist Mini.
Welcome back, everybody, and it's time, as we have any guest on, to do the GGDlist Mini, where we just add one game from our guest to the list. And since Ryan started the list, this is going to be really fun to see and look over the list and how it is. Look how
it's grown. It's grown.
Look what they did to my son, kind of thing.
Got a bunch of tattoos and piercings.
Yeah. As we now know it as the corridor of games. But
corridor
before
games.
that, I'm sorry. Did my my accent throw it off for you, Joe?
No, I love the corridor games. I think it's such a funny thing that we came up with. The corridor games.
We cannot take any claim to that, otherwise Jeff Moon will sue us. So yes,
Rightfully so.
But before we get into Ryan's pick, we're going back to last episode where we did our right in the fields prompt, and commenters on the YouTube have gone into a wheel spin that Jonah is about to do, and we will add your game as the 50th inductee into the GGDlist corridor of games. So without further ado, do you want to go over the potentials, or do you just want to spin the wheel, Jonah?
We'll spin the wheel, and then we'll decide who the winner is afterwards.
All right, let's go.
And the winner is Crystal Smith, friend of the show, Crystal Smith. And what game did Crystal have?
Crystal had Death Stranding. So this is, you're in the perfect episode, Crystal. You're very lucky to have two very big Timefall enthusiasts. Man, okay, this is going to be interesting. I'm guessing it's going to be very much top 20. Let's hear from the fans, Kaedhen and Ryan. Ryan, what are you thinking when you first look at this list?
I'm looking at this list. I think top 20 is a good call. I would put this above Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2. I'm a huge Death Stranding fan. I'm playing through it again right now, actually, so it's really fresh in my mind. I'm getting through the director's cut for the first time. I hover around Elden Ring and Earthbound a little bit. Those are a couple of titans, obviously, in the gaming world. I don't know that I'd go. Man,
you got to remember, you started this list stuff. You got to remember, the thing about lists is you don't look at the stuff that opposes your view. You look at the stuff that supports it, and you just go, "Oh, I'm just going to go straight up to number 3 and be like, oh, this is the reasons why," and you forget about number 556 that is freaking Caterpie or whatever.
Well, if we're going there, then I mean, it's way better than Super Mario 64. I mean, as much as that's
See, this is what we want. This is the spot.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not the one to go down.
As important as Mario 64 is to my childhood and to like the gaming industry, it's like the granddaddy of 3D games in a lot of ways. I think Death Stranding capitalizes on that 3D, because it's a lot of games use 3D space to just place different enemies, but Death Stranding 3D space is the enemy. Right, so it's really compounding on it. It's the final evolution of the idea behind Mario 64, if you really think about it, and it does it in such a better way because it does it with Kojima's wild storytelling behind it all.
Yeah. Interesting.
Death Stranding capitalizes on 3D space by putting nothing out there.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
yeah, we gotta pump the brakes a little bit.
You put the world out there. You and everyone else put the world out there. Kojima doesn't need to design a game. Everyone
You
else
build a
does.
Mario Kart racetrack to drive your shitty vehicle with shitty racing mechanics.
Very
and
bad
physics.
physics. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm a Death Stranding fan, stan even, but that game is it's almost like so bad it's good. Like there's so much that's shitty about that game, but I just fucking love it. And I will never replay Death Stranding. I would boot up Super Mario 64 right now. And if I'm not gonna put it above Super Mario 64, I'm sure as hell not gonna put it above
I'm
Monster Hunter
okay.
World.
Do you feel like sorry, I've just got to come in
Okay.
as the Australians, as the
Mm.
colonialists. Do you feel like Super Mario 64 is connecting America though?
Brings up a ballad.
It surpasses America. It connects the Mushroom Kingdom, bro. It connects America to the Mushroom Kingdom, not America to America.
Yeah, haven't you seen the Super Mario Bros. Movie? Come on.
Oh, and when you think about all the resources you're collecting, I don't think it's as good as Metal Mario.
Mm.
Gonna have
Yeah,
to-
you never get a.
We
I
are
mean-
getting a Death Stranding 2. I don't think we've ever had a Super Mario 64 2.
65.
Mario 65.
I mean, we've got a whole series
One
of
extra
spiritual
polygon.
characters to Super Mario 64, bro. Yeah, I mean, I'm totally cool with slot I ride number 8 because I don't give a fuck about Halo, but
I'm
yeah,
not
feel
putting that
free to-
above Titanfall 2. No way.
Titanfall 2, I'm sorry. Titanfall 2 would be probably maybe the ceiling for me.
Yeah.
If you guys
Top
said
10.
Skyrim,
Sorry, Skyrim.
yeah,
I played like 15, 20 hours of Death Stranding, and while the story was cool, I guess, it just reminded me too much of my day job. And I was like, I
don't
can't
get
do
to
this.
vote on that. If you only saw
Oh.
15 to 20 hours of the game, the story doesn't get good until the final bit.
so you're saying it's a JRPG. So let's put it down in the JRPG pile, down under Final Fantasy VII.
It has no RPG settings there. To be fair, my vibe game was SnowRunner, so I think the vibes of SnowRunner and Death Stranding are very similar.
We're
That
getting
is true.
dangerously close to Borderlands 2, though, which
Yeah.
I know.
As
Ryan
much
is
as
a
I
big,
love Borderlands 2, I think Death Stranding's a more important game, which is where I was going to go for the Titanfall 2 thing. I think Titanfall 2 might be a more communally loved game by gamers, but I think Death Stranding is a more important game to the gaming landscape. Because it's like
It's the
one of
first
a-
Strand game ever.
no,
They invented an
it's-
entirely new genre.
I don't think Kojima's right
You
in
know
that
what?
regard, but
The best excuse you could have used for Mario 64 versus Death Stranding is the next Mario game that came out after Death Stranding was a Strand game. Mario Wonder is a Strand game.
it's true.
Yeah, that's very true.
But I think Death Stranding breaks a lot of AAA game conventions in a lot of ways, and you don't see that in a lot of regards, which is why in my mind it's more important.
Yeah, it makes
to the
combat
landscape.
bad. That's I love how they broke away from making combat feel good, and they instead were like, let's make it really shit and not enjoyable.
Because they don't. To be fair, the idea behind a lot of Kojima games is the avoidance of combat, right? But,
yeah. I love the anti-war narrative. Metal Gear Solid does not mean it's number 2 on my
I'm really
list.
loving this comparison to Skyrim now because I think like Skyrim, Death Stranding is more than the sum of all of its shitty parts somehow. And I do think it's better than Skyrim. So.
But that's the wild thing for me, from my perspective, is first of all, the world's better in Skyrim. Second of all, somehow, despite Skyrim's combat being terrible, it's somehow better than Death Stranding.
I don't think third-person shooting's that bad in Death Stranding.
But
I will say that I do like the combat in Death Stranding more than Skyrim's combat.
Let me sell you with this, Steven. In Skyrim, you can't make a grenade out of your own piss to kill people with. Okay?
True. It's true. You can't throw your shit at ghosts.
You can't throw your literal fecal matter.
There's a mod for that.
Yeah, but we're talking vanilla Skyrim.
Okay.
I'm talking vanilla Skyrim.
Oh my god.
So are we?
I'm the last bastion on Skyrim, but
so it's
like
number
Titanfall 2
10.
is just that is a video game.
Oh yeah.
I don't think. Yeah.
I guess I like
Uh,
10. I guess I like 10. That's fine.
It didn't beat Titanfall 2. Be happy. Congratulations, Ryan. Yeah, you snuck that Stranding up into the top 10.
Don't say Ryan. This is Crystals, but it feels like it's Ryan's
Oh, I'm sorry. I got confused.
Yeah,
I got confused.
like for the 50th pick, getting all the way to number 10 is really good. Both, I think. How many times have we had a commenter pick? I think it's only been a couple times.
I think this is the third one. We had we had
Sea of Stars.
Sea of Stars, definitely. Death Stranding. We had one other one. I can't remember.
Brian did Metal Gear Solid.
No,
right?
He was on the show.
Yeah, he was on the show. Sorry.
It's not collusion that I brought a baby to a Death Stranding ranking either. All right, there's no.
Whoa, there's a BB right there.
But yeah, both games that have been brought by our viewers have ranked really highly. So like, yeah, respect to the game's choices. Yeah.
All right.
And yeah, so moving on to a BB8. No, that's not what it's called. Moving on to someone that has a non-piss covered baby. Ryan, what is what? First of all, what theme did you see that perked your interest from our previous entrant?
History will forget this game.
Oh,
a brutal one.
So you brought
it is a brutal
Banjo Tooie.
No, history won't shut up about that game. No, I'm bringing a little handheld game on the PSP. This is, I'm sure there's other real-time strategies like it, but it's the only small-scale real-time strategy game that I know of that I dumped a lot of time into. SOCOM U.S. Navy SEALs Tactical Strike.
Oh, wow.
Wow, this is a Mateo pick for sure.
It is a mouthful. It's also a deep as fuck cut, because I'm sure no one has like really heard of this or played this. But this game stands out so hard for me. I played the ever-loving crap out of this on the PSP when I first got it. It is a real-time strategy game where you're just controlling a 4-man squad of special operators. You can pick Navy SEALs, but you can also pick like SAS from the British, or what's the Australian Special Forces group. Like they've got like 12 or 13 different country groups you can pick from. SF, and it's like it's stealth RTS, which it's never turn-based. You always get to like very slowly place your operators down the field. And like I've gone to the point of trying to find clean emulators for this game, and they all still have the like copyright cover over all of them, so playing through them is just a pain in the butt. And it's just so hard to find these days. But I like every time I think of real-time strategy, you think of large-scale StarCrafts, you know, you're fighting armies, but there's something about this like close and personal 4-man squad real-time strategy that just really itches the spot for me. And I don't know that a lot of other games really hit that spot, because a lot of other like real times or even turn-based like that are small man are a little bit more active, and this is really stealth focused because you're just 4 men in a giant battlefield. You're really trying to not get found. And in fact, getting found typically leads to a failed mission because you're just in firefights that get very overwhelming very quickly. And because it's not turn-based, if you do get found, you've got to react quickly because there's not a lot of, there's no chance to stop and think about what's going on. You have to just be able to react. So it's so thoughtful, the aspect of it. But yeah, history will forget that game because I'm pretty sure I'm the only one who remembers it.
So I'm trying to think of the tactics element and being like, okay, cool, we need to knock out 2 targets at once, so I'm going to be splitting my party or whatever, and taking out this one and taking out that one. How do you do that quickly? Like is
it like real time or pause?
There's no pausing, right? So it's you can break your teams up very, like you can run two men, 2 groups, and there's a lot of like setting up fields of fire. So it would be like in a situation like that, I would split them up into 2 groups of 2, and slowly advance my way, trying to get stealth kills on whatever guards are leading up to these targets, doing my best to not be seen on either side. And you can leave if one side's looking like a pain in the ass, go do the other side first. Switch to the B group and focus on them, and then switch over to the A group, and you can kind of pincher with the two different 2-man groups. And then but there's a lot of like setting up. So like your backup guy will like set up a field of fire, and your main like rifleman, you'll have him focus on one target if you're trying to do a shooting thing, and then you can set up like each individual soldier to have a unique command and then mark all at the same time, so that the sniper shots go off at the same time, and the two guys who are covering fields of fire, in case anyone happens to be out of your field of view, are ready to start shooting at any targets that show up in their vision.
So they got Overwatch and stuff like that, and
And you can customize all your soldiers. The more you play, the more creds you earn to give them new rifles, deck them out more appropriately, silencers, different grenades to equip, bigger equipment bags so they can carry more things into combat. The missions get really difficult. It was PSP. I don't think there was more than like 12 or 13 missions, so they ramp up pretty quick. The first like 2 or 3 aren't that bad, but by middle of the way, you really have to be thinking carefully about the routes you're taking. You're going to get overwhelmed real quick.
All right, Ryan, where on the list do you think it falls?
It's a good question, because it's not. I mean, it's not a 10 out of 10 by any measure, right? Like I said, history will forget this game because it didn't make a mark.
FTL's at 28, which is seen as one of the best strategy roguelites or roguelikes, I guess.
I don't think I'd put it above Assassin's Creed 2 at 38, because I adore that game. Is Downwell the indie game where you're like falling and you have the jump boots?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and every time you jump, you shoot bullets out of your feet.
I could put that above that. I remember Tactical Strike more fondly than Just Cause 2.
I sort of feel that. I was looking at 39 before you even started.
Yeah, I mean, all the games
I do
below
like-
that
I
I
like
feel
39.
strongly about, I'm like the only one that cares about them, so we could, totally go 39.
39 sounds great.
Man, how do I? What was the subtitle of this? This is just it's such a lot.
SOCOM U.S. Navy SEALs Tactical Strike.
Tactical Strike.
Yep.
Yeah, it's cool. The closest thing I could. I don't know, right? If you played any of those games by Mimimi, which I think that developers unfortunately closed their doors because they just couldn't make a profit, despite all their games having like, overwhelmingly positive reviews, just because it's such a niche.
They did that pirate game, that undead pirate game, right?
Yeah, their last game is Shadow Gambit, and they did like Desperados and Shadow Tactics, and it's the same thing where you've got like a party of like 4 people, and you're doing like stealth missions, but it's like, it has that like RTS, like isometric camera feel, and you set up Overwatch and stuff. But yeah, those games rock. Totally
I've heard
underrated.
nothing but good things about those games.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Well, damn, we really took care of that one. Lickety split. Any final words about SOCOM, Ryan?
Well, I mean, he's got to re-rank a game too.
Oh, yeah.
I did have a pick for this. I feel like Shadow of the Colossus is too low at 19.
Oh,
yes. For a second, I thought you were going to say too high. Fucking lose it.
This is a game I came to way late. I didn't play it until 2021. Yeah, well, I was never a Sony kid growing up. I had an NES and then an N64 because the NES was my parents' hand-me-down. Totally skipped the 16-bit generation. And then was Nintendo until the Xbox 360. And so I like PS4 was the first time I had a lot of like time to catch up on Sony catalog, and they did a lot of re-releases for back catalog stuff, and that was one of them. And I just adore that game because it really does boil down gaming to its core aspect, right? Like it takes away a lot of the monotony, and it's like it's the boss fights. Go have fun. Yeah. And it does it elegantly, and it just feels so good, and it's so subtle with its story, but it's effective with its story through its subtlety. And it's again, it's one of those like landmark in the industry games that has left a footprint that other people look at and try to fill because it is so impactful to the people that play it. And as much as I love a lot of games on this list that I'm looking at, and I know that we just put Death Stranding at number 10, but it really does feel like a top 10 game to me.
I like it. Nice.
Because as much as I love Borderlands 2, I really do feel like Shadow of the Colossus is just so much more important to gaming and so much more like important of a game.
So are you pushing?
Yeah.
Are you pushing Death Stranding out of the number 10 spot and putting Shadow of the Colossus there, or where are you putting it on the top 10?
You got the power to put it anywhere. There's no argument here.
Oh,
You
it's
you pick
all up
another.
to me.
It's all
Yeah.
up to you. We don't get any input.
You have total control.
I'm gonna put it at number 4.
Yes,
Wow.
yes.
Shit.
Let's fucking
Oh,
go.
man.
Wow.
Hey, that's
Yeah.
crazy. Solid plays. I was gonna say, man, it would have fit so well next to Death Stranding with the bad climbing, you know.
There is a similar vibe, right, between Death Stranding and Shadow of the Colossus, but I think it's a similar vibe in complete opposite aspects, because where like Shadow of the Colossus is all about boiling gaming down to its core aspect. Death Stranding is like, here's every side mission you've ever wanted in your life, and you have to walk in between each one of them.
Yeah.
Man.
Wow.
What
Well,
a top 10.
list has,
We're
yes.
we're kind of turning into the Hall of Greats right now. Like,
Mhm.
That top 10 is some stacked super hits of the video game world, honestly.
Yeah, that's solid. Steven, do you want to run us down the top 10 now?
I will. It has changed a fair bit. I'll be very
Mhm.
upset to see Titanfall 2 leave the top 10 at some point.
yeah.
It could happen sooner than later. So at number 10, Titanfall 2. Number 9, Halo Combat Evolved. Number 8, Monster Hunter World. Number 7, Super Mario 64. Number 6, Outer Wilds. Number 5, Ocarina of Time. Number 4, just off the podium, Shadow of the Colossus. Number 3, God of War 2018. Number 2, Metal Gear Solid.
Metal Gear.
And number 1, Chrono Trigger. Oh, wow. Oh, man.
Yeah.
You know what? I sent you that meme about Gene, but like Chrono Trigger could also be a Hideo Kojima name. He would be like, obviously, like, he works with nanomachines, and he's also like a pistol user. All right, so that is the list, and we'll soon move on to the game after a short break from our sponsors. No one.
We wish.
From our sponsors, Hideo Kojima.
We do have sponsors. We have patrons.
We have
Those are-
patrons, and thank you to all of them.
Yes.
Thank you. All right, welcome back, everybody. Time for the game, and today we are playing video game ABCs. It's a very simple game where we're just going to lightning round, go through the ABCs of the alphabet with video game titles. So it'll start with Ryan, go to Jonah, Kaedhen, myself, and then keep going around until one of us falters or can't name a game with that letter. If we get back to Z and start again, or Z, I don't care. We'll start again.
The letter, not a word.
We'll keep going, but we need to make sure we don't use we don't use the same game on the second round. So I guess without further ado, and knockout rules apply. So until there is one winner. All right, without further ado, Ryan, A.
Assassin's Creed.
Jonah.
Banjo-Kazooie.
Kaedhen.
Crash Bandicoot.
Diablo.
Elden Ring.
Oh,
Fallout.
Grand Theft Auto.
Ooh.
H. I don't know. Oh, shit.
You're out.
How about, do we have a H?
Am I on H?
Yeah.
Hellrider. Is that right? Is that the game I'm thinking of? Yeah.
I have no idea. We'll try.
I don't know. We'll give it. It could have been Helldivers. That would have worked.
Oh, Helldiver.
Damn it. I.
Can we use games that aren't out yet? Oh, there's plenty of Indiana Jones games. Indiana Jones.
Oh.
All right.
Oh no.
Jay. And Kaedhen has died, and Jay is just impossible. So he just crashed his internet while he's looking it up. He's Googling it at the moment.
You got Jay, Kaedhen.
I couldn't think of a J. I'm out.
Oh.
Goes to Ryan.
Jay Ryan.
Jet Set Radio.
Oh,
damn it.
Hey.
Killing Floor.
Mm-hmm.
Oof. Al.
I only can think is the lands between. That's it's not gonna.
Oh,
Jonah wins.
Jonah gets the game nice and quick.
Oh,
do we got
Legends
for-
of Zelda. God, I
Oh my god. I can't believe I still have the list up, and there's literally Halo, and
I know.
definitely Halo on my screen,
like,
and I'm like,
Halo, dude,
H.
come on.
Can we
Halo's so
confirm
easy.
Hellrider?
I was like,
Hellrider? What?
Yeah, I'm thinking of that motorcycle game that everyone hates from like the 360
There's a
era.
game
Ride
called
to Hell?
Hellrider 3 on Google Play. So
I'll take it.
yeah,
You want to do one more round?
we'll
That
do
was
one
quick.
more round.
Yeah, we can
All
do
right,
one.
all
of
right.
course.
more
Yeah.
round.
Now I've got to be prepared for H. No, actually, we'll move. We'll shift the start so it mixes it up. So Jonah, you're starting. Kaedhen, myself, and then Ryan. All right. So A, Jonah.
Okay, I need to start off with a good game. Can we just can we just
you've
go?
already failed. You're taking too long.
Hold on, shut the fuck up. Can we go with subtitles for games? So like, if I went with,
no.
no,
No.
okay. Fuck.
A.
Assassin's
Three.
Creed Brotherhood. There.
Well, come on. We already have a sunscreen. Okay. Bayonetta.
Ooh.
Chrono Trigger.
Death Stranding.
Echo the Dolphin.
FTL.
God of War.
Halo.
God, how did I land on I again? I'm out.
Oh, nice. How did I get J again?
No, you're on
J-
I.
I got I.
Oh,
You're on
no.
I.
Gotta defeat a baby. I'm out.
Indigo Prophecy.
What the fuck is that?
J.
Journey.
Nice.
K. Kangaroo. Damn it! I know that there's some sort of KO the kangaroo. Sorry, KO the kangaroo.
Yeah, the kangaroo. Yeah. The fucking Australian the kangaroo.
L again.
L.
Fuck.
Yeah. You
Are
have
there
so
any
many
L-
Legend of Zelda games.
Oh, yeah,
to go
Legend of
through,
Zelda.
Like 20 of them.
Mario 64.
And Night Stalkers? Is that a
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
that is
that's
the game.
fighting
Damn it! There's that depressing game that you
Oh.
love with O.
Oh.
Obra Dinn. I know it's not the
Oh.
title. Outer Wilds.
Oh, there you
Outer
go.
Wilds. Yeah.
E?
P Lies of P no.
Dang it.
Phantom Grade.
There you go.
Okay. Okay.
Q. Oh my god. Yeah,
Oh,
Queen's
no.
Gambit. They made a edutainment game of the show Queen's Gambit.
Okay.
Okay. Cool.
No, they didn't. They did not.
Oh. Damn.
Damn it. Q. I don't know. Anyone got a Q?
Yeah. I know games with like Q in the title and not the start with the Q.
Yeah, I can think of Killer
But,
Queen Black.
Cooler Queen.
That game's way too young.
I can't believe Princess Peach has not ascended the throne yet. What the fuck? Hurry up, Princess Peach.
Yeah, Queen. Well,
Um,
yeah, there has to be a game that starts with Queen, right?
Yeah.
How about
has to be.
Cube? There's a game.
Oh,
QUBE,
Cube.
the puzzle game.
Nice.
Yeah,
Damn,
cool.
we
So
They can't even get to the end of the freaking alphabet. That's crazy.
I know.
thought that game would be so much easier, but when you're a pressure cooker
When you're on the
and you
spot,
can't
it's
think
hard.
of Halo,
yeah,
Dude, I couldn't think of a game
I-
that started with A.
I was like,
Ace
I was-
Attorney.
when I was thinking of this game. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. When I was thinking of the game, I'm like, oh yeah, Zork got that in the bag. Zed,
Yeah,
that's
work.
gonna be easy when I get there.
yeah.
Well, I was thinking
that
of
right?
like a Link to the Past, a Link Between Worlds for A. I was like, hey, that's easy.
It's technically an A.
But it's not it's not the beginning of the title.
Do we want to do like a sudden death with Jonah and Ryan just to get a
Just for
clear winner?
funs.
Okay. I'm down.
All right.
So we're gonna start from Q. All right, start with Q. Let's start from R because yeah, Ryan
Sure.
R. What do we got?
Risk of Rain.
Stalker.
E.
T.
You know the word "the" starts
The,
with.
Oh, yeah.
The Legend of Zelda.
You already said The Legend of Zelda. Now add a subtitle. Add a subtitle.
That's fair. That's fair.
Just say the Minish Cap or Wind Waker.
Tekken.
Or...
Tekken.
Oh, hell yeah. That's it.
There we go.
You. Unreal Tournament.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
V.
Mhm.
Yeah, nice.
W.
W. What Remains of Edith Finch?
Ooh.
Nice.
X.
X.
XCOM.
Damn.
Nice.
Nice.
Mine's Z.
Why?
Why?
Oh, sorry.
Your. Is there a game? Your Name? No, that's an anime. Damn it.
Anime.
Damn.
All right, congratulations.
I have a Y
Ryan.
game.
You're the
What is
winner.
it?
Yeah,
Oh,
take
I've
it
got
through.
one too.
East 9 of the East series.
It's fine.
Oh, he's fine. He's fine. Stupid. Damn it. Ryan is the winner.
That was
Congratulations,
fun.
Ryan. Hell yeah.
Take my
Well, thanks for
crown.
hosting the game, Steven. We appreciate it. Congratulations, fellas. Pat yourselves on the back. We've made it to the end of the podcast. We'll have a round of final thoughts here. As our guest round, I'll give the floor first. Just anything you want to fucking talk about, go for it.
Get hyped for Death Stranding 2, people. All right, if you haven't played Death Stranding 1, go play it. It's so worth your time. Did you know by the time you beat Chapter 3, you're already halfway through the story of that game?
Yeah.
The Chapter 3 is the longest
dig
part
in.
of any of the speed runs. And it just race to Chapter 3, get the exo legs, and then do whatever you want. You just doubled your
Yes.
carrying capacity. And Death Stranding 2 is going to be wild, all right? They don't edit Kojima at all. It's his own studio, all right? That man, every crazy idea is on the table.
Kaedhen cannot hear anyone, so I guess we'll go over to Jonah with his final thoughts.
My final thoughts are been checking out a new book series. Shout out to Austin Sheen, one of our patrons, for recommending it. It is He Who Fights with Monsters. The audiobook is fantastic. It's about an Australian protagonist who gets isekai'd into another world, and he's learning about magic and powers and stuff. Super awesome franchise. The audiobook is read by an Aussie reader, and so it's just it's a super fun series, and I've been mowing through the books. They're nice and long, so if you like long books, that's another thing. You get more bang for your buck with it. Big shout out for Ryan for joining us today. Mateo, we miss you. Brad, I hope you get better, man. Keep fighting the good fight, man. I know it's tough. But yeah, share our stuff, man. We want to get into more people's ears. And thanks for checking us out.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Steven, final thoughts.
Been playing Returnal recently, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Picked that up. I'm not much of a sort of bullet hell person, but the movement in this game is really, really fun. The guns all feel pretty good. Like I'm not huge on that aspect of it. It's mostly just the environments. I like the environments. I like the movement. And it's just, yeah, the boss fights are really engaging. They never feel insane. Like I don't know, 6 deaths or something, and I got through the first 3 bosses, and then you get sort of into second cycle. And yeah, like that, it was, it felt like very manageable, but like I did have to understand the systems pretty quickly to be able to do better. But yeah, it has a really nice little difficulty scaling. I think it was a really good game.
Nice. The game's sick.
Hell yeah. Well, I've been your host as always, Kaedhen Bear Lane, and man, my final thoughts are, I just beat the Elden Ring DLC, and we're now entering that stage, that phase where we're going into hibernation. I'm going back into my cave and crawling back into my chrysalis,
And
waiting.
playing ROM hacks.
Playing Pokemon ROM hacks and waiting for the next From Software game. Ooh, what's it gonna be? It's a special time. I can't wait.
I
The
just
question
imagine
is-
like Kaedhen getting a Steam Deck and he's just curled up playing Pokemon and Zelda ROM hacks on it.
Oh god, this bomb hack's so fucking hard. I love it. Oh my god, it took me 120 hours to beat this fucking difficult Pokemon ROM hack for adults, and I love it.
I was just gonna say it's interesting. I really want to know. Should
You cut out.
voice actor fit?
You cut out.
Oh, really?
You
Of
really
course
want
I
to know
did.
what?
I really want to know if the voice actor for Egon, with his whole 5 voice lines, could be voice actor of the year because, like, he just
performance of the year.
deserves-
He just comes out on stage with a microphone and goes,
That completely cut out.
yeah.
"Oh, great. Okay, cool. All right, sick. Well, as always, happy gaming. Bye."
As always, a big thank you to our friend Misdriven for the music in our podcast. If you like what you hear and you want to check out more of what they have, you can pay them a visit on Twitter at MIST_RIVEN 719 or on Bandcamp at Misdriven. Thanks again for tuning in. Till next time.
Hi,
I'm a quick.
Death Stranding character Ice Coldman, and I've come to tell you about this ice cold Mountain Dew. That is a real character, by the way. Ice Coldman. That's a real character.
Yeah.